Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivangi Gupta. The absconding final accused in Parliament breach case, Lalit Jha, was arrested by the Delhi police last night. Lalit was the one who live-streamed the protest outside Parliament. Today, he was presented before the Patiala House Court and was sent to 7 days police custody, just like the other 4 intruders. Now, Jha is being considered the mastermind of the act, and with his involvement, the political war has also taken a new turn. BJP has now trained its guns on the entire India bloc, and especially they have pointed out to links between Jha and the TMC. Meanwhile, the opposition continued to target the central government, demanding Home Minister Amit Shah's statement in Parliament. They even staged a protest outside Parliament, standing in solidarity with the suspended opposition MPs. Because of the chaos, both houses of Parliament were adjourned within minutes of convening. Another important matter, one related to security, seems to be falling prey to open politics where logic and reason is taking a backseat and a beating, and settling scores seems to be the priority. While the government wants to portray the opposition as petulant and impatient, hell-bent on creating roadblocks to dialogue and discussion, especially in Parliament, the opposition is hammering the government over their MP being involved in issuing the visitor's pass to these intruders. Are we missing the larger point here? Is politics trumping national security? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. But first, take a look at the political fight which is ongoing between the opposition and the centre over the suspension of 14 MPs, all opposition MPs. Now, the opposition is adamant that Home Minister Amit Shah must give a statement in Parliament, while the government or the BJP is only coming out to say that this is a sensitive matter and that opposition must behave properly. Opposition demands that government should suspend the MP, Pratap Simha, who gave the recommendation for the visitors' pass to the intruders. BJP says that the opposition is not going to achieve anything by creating obstacles. The opposition was also saying that 14 MPs were suspended only for questioning the government, while of course the BJP or the government maintains that the opposition MPs have been suspended for their unruly behaviour inside the house, something that cannot be condoned. Now, the BJP has, as I mentioned, added a new dimension to this case. They say that the conspirator Lalit Jha is an India-backed Maoist. These are some of the statements that have come in from BJP leaders. Now, Lalit Jha's links, so as to say, have come out with the TMC. Lalit Jha is a member of the TMC and was seen with TMC MLA Tapas Roy, is what leaders of the BJP are saying. They have even released an image to support their claim, but do photographs prove enough? Amit Malviya, meanwhile, BJP's IT cell head, has claimed that the advocate Asim Sarore, who has offered to represent these intruders in court, also has a link with the Congress. He has gone on to say that Sarore was actually an active participant of Bharat Jodo Yatra and was seen with Rahul Gandhi. Now, at least the TMC has responded very sharply on the allegations or the link that has been drawn between them and Lalit Jha, one of the accused in this case. They claim the allegations are childish and that there is no circumstantial evidence to tie the two. As I said, is a photograph enough? They also allege that these are attempts by the BJP to shield their own Mysuru MP Pratap Sinha, who was actually the one whose office gave the passes to these visitors. One of the accused actually hails from his constituency, but not the rest. TMC also claims that these allegations are a proof of, quote, fear emanating from demands of Home Minister Shah's resignation. Remember, yesterday itself, TMC had become one of the first parties to openly ask for the Home Minister's resignation on this matter. The question we ask today is simply this. As far as this Parliament security breach is concerned, is politics trumping what should have been a more serious, more somber discussion on how to secure the Indian Parliament further and on national security?
Home Minister Amit Shah is telling that Congress is politicizing issues, opposition is politicizing issues. Where is the politicization? This issue happened on the anniversary of Parliament attack.
दोनों बिल्डिंग जो है ये स्पीकर के अधीन आता है, स्पीकर के कार्यक्षेत्र में आता है। स्पीकर साहब ने जो कुछ भी आदेश दिया सर्वदलीय बैठक बुला के, वो आदेश सरकार इन लेटर एंड स्पिरिट हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं।
ये टीएमसी विधायक तापस राय है, उसका क्षेत्र का एमपी है सुदीप बंदोपाध्याय।
I do not know the miscreant. neither by name nor face. And this is something childish.
Hello, Moto.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Charu Pragya is the BJP spokesperson. JB Mathur is from Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress Party. Tausif Rahman from the TMC and Yashovardhan Azad is former Special Director of the Intelligence Bureau, all joining us on the show. A big thanks to all of you. JB Mathur, let me come with you. The Congress, of course, is very upset. Most of the suspended MPs come from the Congress Party, and they've raised this point that, this is not how democracies should function. All that the Congress MPs were asking for was for a statement from the government or especially the Home Minister. But what do you make of the charge coming in from the Treasury benches, which is that this is not the way to, ask for what you want in the House. Nobody has ever denied for a statement or a discussion, but the Congress and the opposition parties are obstructionist in their behavior.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate that an incident of this magnitude has happened in the highest the secured place like Parliament. Some infiltrators have intruded and jumped from the gallery with canisters in hand and smokes coming. Such a serious incident, has happened. Just imagine for a moment, what if the gas was some siren or something which could have, which was poisonous, and the disaster that could have happened.
Right.
The fact is a fact that there is a total security breach that happened. Now, firstly, the first and immediate step should have been definitely who gave the pass. But it is, it is an utter shame that whoever has given the pass has given VIP treatment, and he is not being questioned. He is not being asked. There's nothing against him. He is still continuing in Parliament. And
but do you believe that the blame, one second, since you raised this point, do you really believe that that's the argument, that the blame of the actions of these intruders could be laid on the door of the MP whose office issued the passes?
See, that is one part of it, one point of it, that since I'm coming to the suspension of MPs, I'm saying suspension of MPs, when the MPs are demanding for a statement from the Home Minister, first of all, these people do not give answers for anything happening outside the Parliament, across the country, about Manipur or price rise, they do not answer. But for something that has happened inside the Parliament, at least, Home Minister is bound to come and give a statement
So
to the Parliament. See, there's no sense of accountability.
The BJP has narrated some previous cases that have happened, and they've said that in any of those cases where similar breaches happened, the Home Minister was not asked to respond. The Lok Sabha Speaker was the one who actually took it further. So why this exception in this case?
We are seriously demanding, because the Home Minister has all the time to go to a channel program and explain and answer about the breach that has happened in Parliament. When Parliament session is on, the sense of accountability is to the people and to the Parliament. So we are not saying, the least we are demanding is that they should come and make a statement. The Union Home Minister should come and make a statement, which they are not doing.
Yeah,
this
Charu
shows
Pragya,
how there is no sense of accountability for the this government.
Yeah, Charu Pragya, it's not to appropriate any blame. Or to blame that the government is only fundamentally responsible, although if it's a matter of security inside Parliament, even if it comes under the Lok Sabha Secretariat, there will be some political questions or political accountability asked for. But it's not so much to appropriate blame. Surely a statement should be forthcoming from none other than the Home Minister. It's not a big ask.
Shivani, let's go point wise. One, my friend Jebi from the Congress sounds really upset that our Honorable Home Minister was speaking elsewhere, because he completely tore through their false agenda. He answered with facts, and I think that shakes up the opposition. Every single propaganda floated by them has been put to rest.
No, let's concern ourselves with only this. Even if,
I'm coming to that, because
is it not a fair question? Is it not a fair question to ask?
He's not keeping his calendar.
Charu, is it not a fair one second, is it not a fair question to ask that when the Parliament is in session, the first statement from the Home Minister should come on the floor of the House?
When the Parliament is in session, In fact, anytime anything that goes on inside the Parliament of India is under the supervision and responsibility of our Honorable Speaker. As soon as this very unfortunate incident occurred, the Speaker called the leaders of the floor for a quick meeting. He took suggestions to improve security, and a lot of those suggestions have already been incorporated. What happened was very unfortunate, but let's also remember what happened was very carefully planned, Shivani. It was not something which was done at the brink of a thought. It was planned for over a year. It was planned by people who can maybe come from across the country, from different cities, but they are united with one thread, and that is of a thought ideology of the urban Naxals. We know
So
that,
be
we've
it,
seen that.
but
Where
Charu-
else have you heard these kind of slogans?
Charu, so be
Another
it.
thing
I
is-
don't agree with this kind of causeless, ruckus
it's
creating in
important.
Parliament. But it is
No, can I finish my
even
last
if
point,
they come
Shivani?
from quote unquote.
Can I-
One second.
can I
No,
finish
Charu, I
speaking,
must say
Shivani?
this. No, one second.
At
I must say
every
this.
session
I've
of
heard this for too
Parliament.
long, for 2 days now. If they
No.
come from this so-called urban Naxal mentality, more so that
Who
the security,
encourages that?
more so
Who
that the
is
security of the
creating
Parliament,
heroes out
more
of
so that the
people who
security
are
of Parliament
lawbreakers,
should have been
anti-nationals.
up to the task of not letting these individuals in. Ultimately, the
And-
buck stops with security.
And nobody
Regardless
is
of who
running
comes
away.
from what mentality
Shivani,
and ideology.
Shivani, nobody is running away from the responsibility and the loopholes in the security system. But tell me, is it a mere coincidence that every time the Parliament is in session, the opposition finds something to disrupt the proceedings
No,
of the
you
House?
can't
and
lay
sit
the blame
outside?
of this on the opposition just yet. I'm sorry. Not
And
of the act.
Till the investigation is not concluded, what do they want everybody to speak about? The speaker is in charge. Unfortunate incidents like this have occurred in the past as well. Every single time the speaker has responded. What is so different this time? And
Okay.
tell me, what is it that the perpetrator said which is any different from what any members of the India Alliance keep saying?
Okay, I'll come to that topic a little bit separately, but I'm just discussing what should have happened in the aftermath of this episode. Tausif, before I come to you, I want to go across to Yashwardhan Azad. This point that the opposition is raising, that there should be action or suspension at least of the MP concerned, whose office made the pass for these visitors, is that a fair demand or is that also jumping the gun against the parliamentarian?
No, it's not a fair demand. Let me point out, Shivani, there are three critical aspects to this problem, this whole issue. First, the most important part is the breach of security, which I think people should concentrate more on. How did the breach of security take place? The breach of security took place at the point of screening. Why? Because the old monotonized protocols were being routinized all the time. Even now, there were no shoes which are being checked. And despite the heightened security which should have been there on that particular day, it was still the same routine and the accepted protocols were being followed. I don't even blame them for that, because never before in the Parliament House the shoes are checked, and your door frame metal detectors only check metals, they don't check non-metals. So secondly, the responsibility goes to the higher ups in the Parliament Security Group. Did they think of something called a backscatter technology? Backscatter technology, immediately detects the plastics, or even an advanced technology has come. And now the second part is the investigation into who are these people. Well, whoever these people are, their links is being looked into by the anti-terrorist cell, but it's quite obvious that their link is not with the terrorist group or Panun or anybody. Their risk is with, whether it's political or not, that's a different thing. Investigation is there. But the very fact that the government has put UAPA 16 and 18 is important enough for the Home Minister to make a statement in the House. Yes, it's a serious breach. We are going through an inquiry, and within 2 days, this inquiry, Shivani, can be done within 1 day and a couple of hours, and it can be immediately said what was the reason and what is the problem. Now the third part, which you asked me about the MP. Since 1952, MPs have been issuing guest passes or applications in which they say, yes, they give an undertaking that I know the person, my relative, my friends or whatever. But in practice, what happens is that anybody who comes, he is allowed to go. Now that is all right, because for the simple reason, in Parliament, you are supposed to give the name till 4 o'clock. but the passes are being issued also with the notice of 2 hours. So obviously in this case, background checks, etc. cannot be done. So that doesn't really matter as long as the person, even if he's a dacoit, and if he comes inside, if he's clean, then it's all right.
Yeah.
The idea is that while entering the parliament,
You
he
should be checked.
sanitized.
Yes, you
and
should be
in this
checked
case, the
thoroughly. Besides, I am
sanitization
not
failed.
sure
So-
if somebody else
so
can be
two-
held responsible. What can be held responsible for one judging your intentions, what you want to do with that pass, or be held responsible for your actions once you've gotten inside parliament. So I think that's a separate matter. But Tausif, I want to come to you. If the opposition can throw this demand that because the pass was made by this BJP MP Pratap Sinha, then BJP is naturally asking the question, what about the links of the so-called mastermind Lalit Jha with your party and MLAs? Then it's a fair ask. If you make that ask, they will make that ask.
Well, Shivani, it's very clear. I mean, the photo is there. And I don't know whether this photo, when he clicked, what happened. And of course, what we are asking for is an inquiry. We are not stopping for any inquiry. You heard the MLA, respected MLA. He said that he doesn't know that person. Okay, I know you won't believe that. I mean, the BJP will not believe that. He said, I don't know the name as well. Okay, BJP won't believe that as well. But the inquiry is there. Lalit Jha is arrested. Lalit Jha will give his statement and the narratives will come out very soon. But the only problem I feel right now that everything is looking very easy, calm-headed. But I'll tell you, Shivani, the nation wants to know. The whole India, I'm telling you, maybe it's not getting, the news is not getting to you, but the country is scared. We are scared.
No, come
150
on,
crore
don't make
people
these
scared. What
statements. You know,
happened?
I'm sorry.
No.
This brings me to the point. Once again, this brings me exactly to the point that that I made to you yesterday as
Shivani.
well, Tausif.
The country-
which is
the
that,
country is not safe.
spreading
The
this
country is
feeling
not
of paranoia, I am not going to allow that through my show.
No, but let me complete.
Feelings
If you
of
don't want me to
paranoia,
complete-
feelings of some mass injustice going on. In the past, people in political
It's an
circles
attack.
are guilty of spreading
It's an
murmurs of a
attack.
genocide happening in India. You know, that is what is brainwashing a lot of people. I am not going to
Shivani,
stand for that.
Shivani, the person who gave the access is not arrested.
So now
He's
you
been
come to the
covered.
MP. No, now you come to the
wait,
MP.
Tell me.
So
No,
you
no,
want,
that's what I'm
once
telling
again,
you.
that's the question I asked you, Tausif. If you want
you
Pratap
don't
Sinha,
want me
one
to-
second,
you don't want
if
me
you
to
want
speak.
Pratap Sinha to be arrested, why should your MLA who's also caught in a photograph with this accused not be arrested? By that logic, he
I'll
should
tell
also
you.
get arrested.
That will come after an inquiry.
So
But the
why-
name
why
is there.
not the Pratap Sinha part?
Pratap Sinha accepted. And Pratap Sinha said, Pratap Sinha clearly said his family, one of the accused family clearly gave the statement
Accused
that he-
family said so. That's not proof.
Exactly. They know the family very well.
No,
And
that's
if
what
you
the
don't
accused
want to-
family's version is. That's not investigation.
Let me complete. You're not listening to me. So Pratap Sinha is still there. Inquiry is happening. Derek O'Brien was suspended because he raised the question for the country. He was, according
Is that
to
why
the
he was
media,
suspended?
creating a ruckus. He was creating a ruckus inside the parliament because he was raising the issues for the country. Now, I have a simple question. BJP was saying that it happened before as well in 2001. You know what happened in 2001 inside the parliament? In just 3 working days after the attack on the parliament, Rajya Sabha held a discussion. The
That's
Minister
not
of
the
External
attack that they're
Affairs-
talking about. That attack is different.
No,
That's
but
a
let me
terror
repeat.
attack.
Let
Intrusions
me
of this
repeat.
kind. One second, Tausif. Intrusions of this kind where somebody
If
has
you don't
come into
want me
the.
to speak, it's okay. I'll be
I'll want
quiet.
you to
No, no,
speak,
no.
but you cannot be saying falsehoods on the show, right?
I have to give a reference. Where is my Prime Minister? Where
No,
is
one
my
second.
Home
You're
Minister?
jumping from
They
one
don't
to
want
another.
to
Just
give
hold
it-
on.
they
Hold
don't
on.
want to give a
I ask
statement.
you one question, you jump to the other thing. I ask you another question, you jump to the third thing. One second.
The
The
country needs a
references.
statement, Shivani.
Okay,
The
one second.
country
Okay,
needs a
one.
statement,
That's not the
a
question I asked
suspension
you. The
of an
question I
opposition
asked you
MP.
was of references being made that please, you should take action against this MP whose office issued the passes. By that logic, even your MLA should be, in the dock.
Go ahead. The inquiry is still there.
Yeah, so inquiry. Let
BJP
inquiry happen against Pratap Sinha also. Why are you asking for his suspension?
No, but that is an immediate action we need.
Why?
He's the member of parliament.
But how have you
Why are
appropriate guilt to him?
Why are you loitering around with Lalit Jha, with Tapas Rai? He said he doesn't know the person. He has not given
That's
anything
not
in
the
writing.
point.
But Prateek
If
Sinha gave
by
the access in
association
writing.
or the fact that they were issued passes from Pratap Sinha's office, you have tainted the MP, then by association your MLA is also
country is in
tainted.
danger. The country is in danger. 150 crore people is at
No,
stake.
the country
We
is
all
not
at
at
stake.
danger. No,
The
I
country
am
is in
not going to
danger.
allow these
We are not
statements.
safe.
The country is
We are
not
not
at
safe.
danger. I am not going to
We-
allow this fear mongering
we are
and
not
absolute
safe,
paranoia
Shivani.
being
It
spread.
is absolutely correct.
No, it is
Because
absolutely
my MP got
incorrect.
suspended. Why? Because he
Absolutely
wanted to speak for
incorrect.
the
The
country.
country is not in danger. 150 crore people that you mentioned are
We
not
are
in
danger.
danger.
The parliament is under
This
attack.
is
It
exactly
happened
the
clearly in
kind of
front of everyone.
hyperbole that really is guiding this misguided activism that has
Why?
reached the doorstep of parliament. I will say that.
Yesterday it was a gas can. It could have been an
It
RDX
could
as
have
well.
been anything. So don't create hyperbole
You are not
on the
taking it
back of
seriously.
this episode.
You are not taking it seriously. It's okay.
Of course I'm
But
taking
we,
it seriously.
as a public
But
representative,
I am
we
not
have to
going
take
to
it
make
seriously.
hyperbolic statements like
We have to give a good
150 crore
narration.
people are in danger. This is
We are in danger,
exactly
sir.
this is exactly the
Shivani,
kind
we
of
are in danger.
paranoia that
Where
should
is the
not be
security?
spread by political parties that have large following and certainly not representatives
My
of
MP
political
has been
parties.
suspended.
That's
My
a
MP
separate
has been
case.
suspended.
The
What he was
country
doing
has not
inside.
come under
Why?
danger because of Derek O'Brien's
Why?
suspension. Please.
Why? Why he got suspended? Why?
Yeah, I
He
asked
was
you that
not
question.
behaving well?
Why?
Why? What
Because
he
he's
was doing is-
creating ruckus
he
on
wanted-
behalf of the country. Again, a statement
No.
that is absolutely
He
false.
wanted to speak for the country.
No,
He wanted
I'm
to
sorry.
raise the
Can I
security
He was caught.
concerns.
He was
Swati
caught
has
in the
been
well.
allowed to peddle his propaganda for long enough.
He wanted to speak for the country. That's
For the
it.
country.
And if he's
Okay.
unheard,
Charu Pragya.
of course the ruckus will happen. He was unheard.
No, the
So,
ruckus should not
Shivani,
happen.
now do you
I
see
said this
why I
yesterday
was
also.
mentioning-
It's as simple as
Justifying
that.
ruckus in parliament because quote unquote you are speaking for the country or you are speaking for the rights of
We are
150
from
crore
Trinamool
people
Congress,
is exactly
the
the
biggest
kind of
one.
nonsense that these four people tried to do. That's exactly
Sure.
the kind of stage that
You
was
want to cover
created
it,
for
Shivani,
these
you
people.
can cover it.
I'm not
Not an
covering
issue.
it, but I'm saying
You can cover
that
it.
narrative which is spread that you can create
Shivani,
ruckus for
can I
your
intervene,
grievances
please?
My
is a
Prime
problem.
Minister
Can I
is
come
busy.
in now, please,
The
Shivani?
Home
Yeah,
Minister
Charu,
is
then
busy
JB.
giving
Charu.
the conclave interviews.
Okay, now
He's
you
busy on the
understand
field.
why it was important for me to talk about the ideology of these Andolan GVs. It is the same language being spoken by TMC right now, the same propaganda they're trying to spread. They've lost elections currently. One of their alliance MPs has been caught with 500 rupees of cash. They see themselves losing this battle and this is their way of coming back for it. Don't you see? It all seems so synchronized and what is
No,
Tati
that's
saying?
separate.
Country
It
is
still
in
doesn't
danger.
take away.
What
It
kind
still
of a
doesn't
statement
take
is
away
that
from
and
the
why should
fact.
anybody listen to it?
This
And
still,
Shivani,
no,
most
Charu, it
importantly,
still
those
doesn't
who
take
were
away from the
pretending
fact
to
that the
speak-
ideology of these four people doesn't matter, 4 or 7 people doesn't matter. Ultimately, the buck stops with the security personnel.
The security personnel is an issue nobody is running away from, and because they are mentioning Mr. Simha, tell me, is it not the norm for all the members of parliament, especially because we have a new parliament, to try and get as many people from their constituency to see it? It is the norm. Unfortunately, a wrong person was chosen. It was an error in judgment and he admits to it. He is cooperating with the investigation. What does Tasi want? Now, if you are looking for connections, you can also look for the connection
What-
of Rahul
what-
Gandhi
what Derek
with a
O'Brien
lawyer
did?
who's jumping up
What
and
Derek
down to
O'Brien
defend
did?
the perpetrators.
What
But
my
what
MP
about
did?
that? By
What
that
my
But
MP
Charu,
did?
Charu, Charu, can I
What
come
was
in?
called-
Can I come in? JB, I'm just coming to you. JB, just coming to you. But Charu, this is terrible optics for the government to be suspending 14 MPs from the opposition a day after such an attack purely because they were demanding something. Yes, you could say the way they were demanding was wrong, but it's seriously bad optics.
Shivani, there are more than 500 MPs and sufficient number of them are from the opposition as well. Why is it that these 14 were suspended? Anarchy cannot pass on for speaking out on behalf of your people.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The
JB.
parliament cannot set a wrong example for that.
JB?
Shivani, there's something of this magnitude happened inside the parliament, and as MPs and in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, we cannot be keeping quiet on this. Okay. And we followed the procedure. In Rajya Sabha, we submitted the Rule 267 notice. In all India parties, MPs, including like I am a party to it, we have submitted yesterday, today, asking for a discussion on this and for the Home Minister's reply. It's not the case that we have not followed the procedure. We have followed the procedure, which is part of the system of parliament. And
But JB,
definitely,
can
when
I
that
ask you,
demand
when
was
you
not
did
met,
follow the
when
system, and that system was followed yesterday, Rule 6267 was invoked yesterday, why disrupt proceedings till then? Let's say you followed
The
the process.
destruction, see, we followed the process. So when such a serious thing has happened, then it should be allowed. When it was not allowed, it's quite natural in a democratic system, in our parliamentary system, that we raise our voices. We all raised. We don't want, see, Derek O'Brien, definitely, he did what was required, and it was all of us did what was required. And it is very unfortunate that 14 MPs, including Derek O'Brien, got suspended. See, we all are party to it. It is not a single
Party issue,
person
yes.
or single MP.
Yes.
We all have taken it as a decision unitedly, and we will stand by that. We are not demanding the resignation of Home Minister. What did we ask? Let the Home Minister come to the Parliament and make a statement. Why is he so reluctant to do it when he can do it in a channel? Why can't he come to the Parliament and
Charu,
make
I'll
a
give you
statement?
30
That's all
seconds
we're asking.
again to specifically answer that question. Why the reluctance from the Home Minister to make a statement on this? You know, it is a natural expectation. And then I want to go across to Yashwant Azad as well.
Shivani, this has been a pattern of the opposition, very unfortunately. You are concerned with getting the facts of the case. You're concerned with knowing what went on in the investigation. Is the Honorable Defence Minister not serious enough for you? Is the Honorable Speaker of the Parliament not serious enough for you? Every time
But
they
it's
do
not
this,
the
so if the Home
department,
Minister
no,
is
Charu.
speaking for Manipur, they'll say, let the Prime Minister speak. If the Prime Minister is speaking, they'll stage a walkout. This is only a matter of them shifting the goalpost because they're only interested in making sure Parliament does not function. That's it. That's it. And of course, spreading their fake narratives and propaganda.
Yashwardhan Azad, you've while you
Charu
say
should apologize for the tone she said about Manipur. People died there. This is not the way to say about Manipur. It's very sad.
Ma'am, Amit Shah ji responded on the floor of the House. Did he not give you complete facts? Did he not give you the background? Did he not give you the future roadmap? In spite of that, you continued to talk about it as if nobody from the government had taken responsibility or spoken about it. This is a very serious issue. It
The
was
fact
taken
remains
very
that
seriously by
Manipur
the
still
government.
burns,
I
Charu.
think the
Manipur
opposition
still
needs to do
remains,
some
and the way you
introspection
are
and figure out
responding is
why is it that answers for them are not enough.
Okay. Can I just come in? Yashwardhan Azad, you wanted to come in, but I'll just ask this question one more time. While you made your opinion very clear of this MP pass business, it's clear that some sort of a lacuna has been found by people. And in the event that this has happened, it could give ideas to others as well. So do you feel that we could re-look at this pass system as well? Some sort of a stricter check could be done, or is that very difficult to implement?
No, we should come to it, but let me, say 4 very important things which should have happened. A common man, when he sees this kind of a breach in the citadel of democracy, he expected 4 things. Because the government itself has admitted the seriousness of the case. How? By instituting a UAPA case. I don't think a UAPA case is attracted in this, 16 and 18. However, if the government has instituted a case, then it was very, very important enough for a Home Minister to make a statement, preliminary statement, not even the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, because mind you, when the Standing Committee of Parliament looks at the Parliament security, it is the Home Ministry officials who are there to answer the question. That is why a preliminary statement was required, where he could have easily said, because you know exactly, in the first half an hour, what exactly was the security lapse. That's number 1. Number 2, the inquiry should have then been instituted to security specialists, in fact to NSA, with Chief of the IB and the CRPF security here, because CRPF itself is not alone. It looks after the armed security. The other parts of security are also there. Third, that the highest echelon, the head should have rolled in the Home Ministry. That will come even after 2 days or wherever. And the fourth is that yes, opposition should have held their horses and said, okay, if you're doing this inquiry, we are willing to wait for 2 days, because this inquiry will not take more than a few hours. I can tell you with great authority. Lastly, about the MP's passes. Listen, Parliament is a citadel of democracy, and more people should see it. You cannot blame any MP. How can you institute a case against them? Do you think any MP would want that some of their visitors should go and jump inside the well of the House? No, I don't. I don't think so. So there is no mens rea, there is no intent. The system and you can't have a background check also, because in one day you cannot do a background check, right? So yes, the MP gives an undertaking, that is good enough. They should be more, in fact, particular about giving this. But you know, Shivani, what is the more important thing? You ask the officials inside the parliament, they say how the MPs ask them, "Arey bhai, itna zyada checking mat karo." They don't check the bags properly. They don't do due diligence properly because of the exercise of influence. Today, in fact, that particular day, the chief of security should have gone to Lok Sabha speaker and said, देखिए आज ऐसी घटना हो चुकी थी और उसके commemoration में ऐसा आज कुछ नहीं हो, we will check even the shoes. That is the kind of security, idea which should be filled into the minds, and if you have that, then there is no problem.
Yeah,
this
but
is how
possibly
it should
a reminder that we need to be vigilant at all times, on all days. Even one lapse can lead to a catastrophic event. The security forces do have a thankless job, a very tough job, because they only have to fail once for those with nefarious tendencies to succeed. But that is why you need to have foolproof security and no possibility of human lackadaisical, error that should creep in, certainly when it's about the Indian Parliament. I do thank all of our guests for joining us.